The last time you went to McDonald's and you ordered yourself a Big Mac, when you looked inside the bag, did you not have a big stash of cash in there? No? Well then you, my friends, are not being recruited by the University of Tennessee. In the past few days, we've heard that Jeremy Pruitt and multiple members of the Tennessee Volunteers staff are getting fired, and we now know that there are NCAA investigations and serious violations are occurring. And look, this gives a new definition to the meaning of Happy Meal. We have to get into it. As always, y'all, if you're already here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're on our push to 1,000 subscribers, and we'd love to have you along for the journey. If you have subscribed, thank you so much for the support. It really does mean a ton. Go ahead and like the video and drop a comment down below to let me know, because this might be the most absurd news piece of the 2021 offseason, and we're 20 days into 2021. Only a few days into the offseason, and already we have a story that I guarantee will just continue to give. Now, according to the Dan Patrick Show, Tennessee, when recruits would come and visit, would be putting cash in bags, in McDonald's bags, which really does give an entirely new definition to a Happy Meal, because I don't know about y'all, but I've never gotten cash in my McDonald's bag. Now, of course, according to 24/7 Sports, the University of Tennessee, and multiple people within the University of Tennessee have vehemently denied these allegations made by the Dan Patrick Show, but here's why I'm inclined to believe at least some of it, right? One, Tennessee just cleaned house in assistant coaches, head coaches, and then we know that there are very serious recruiting violations and NCAA violations, of which some are level 1, some of which are level 2. We know that's happening. Now, sure, maybe the exact story wasn't them putting cash inside of a bag, but it does seem more likely than not to me that there is some truth to Dan Patrick's claim, because one, Dan Patrick is a seasoned vet at this, right? He's got great sources, he's very trusted. And two, where there's smoke, there's fire. I hate to keep saying this, but at the same point, you've just had so many people fired. We know there are recruiting violations, and now we get a source saying that assistant coaches were putting cash inside of McDonald's bags and handing them out to recruits. Now, according to Dan Patrick's source, they said Tennessee got very sloppy. And that's an understatement. Personally, I think that Tennessee, one, you have to deny this claim. And two, you have to deny it for the simple fact that this is embarrassing, right? Like, it's one thing to go back to the 2000s and the early 90s and the late 90s with Miami and the boosters they had within that program that were really just there providing a party atmosphere, right? You had kind of the party boys in Miami, and now you have the burger boys of Tennessee. It's so absurd that I have no doubt in my mind this story will keep on giving. Now, what does this mean for Jeremy Pruitt going forward? Jeremy Pruitt will most likely be relegated to a situation at least similar to what Hugh Freeze had to go through. Now, Hugh Freeze has been vetted as a guy to come back and coach some of these SEC teams. Some teams have looked at him both for offensive coordinator and for head coach. However, Greg Sankey and the SEC are not inclined to let that happen. So while Hugh Freeze might be coming back sometime to a Power 5 school, I doubt it is going to be in the SEC, at least not anytime soon, because the SEC commissioner does not seem like he is too thrilled about that idea. I think Jeremy Pruitt is going to be relegated to a very similar fate here if these allegations turn out to be true. Jeremy Pruitt will probably not be able, he won't be a head coach for a while, first off, because of the job at Tennessee. That did not go well at all. Jeremy Pruitt might be a guy who's a better defensive coordinator than he is a head coach, and there's really nothing wrong with that because he was a great defensive coordinator. He is hyper-aggressive as a defensive coordinator, but he's got just enough on the back end to keep you confused, enough for his pressure to be able to get there, and he does a phenomenal job of disguising where he is bringing pressure from. He does not do a phenomenal job of disguising where he's going to put the cash inside of a McDonald's bag. This is one of the greatest stories I've heard in a long time, if it is true, and like I said, I am inclined to at least believe part of what the Dan Patrick Show is saying, because they're seasoned vets, they're great at what they do, and we know that there are recruiting violations that did occur at Tennessee, and we know that it left head coaches, assistant coaches, and lead recruiters without jobs. So the Tennessee Volunteers, look, I always thought volunteers meant like volunteering inside of a militia group or volunteering to serve. Apparently it means volunteering to get yourself NCAA sanctions, because this is, without a doubt, one of the worst ways to go about breaking the rules I have ever heard. And like I said, it just gives new credence to what a Happy Meal is. But Tennessee, man, it is very hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel here. Apparently Peyton Manning is going to be involved in the hiring process of the next head coach. The Mannings are as well, which that has to make you feel somewhat good, Tennessee fans. But at the same time, your 5-star commit from this past class just left, Terrence Lewis, and your head coach is now gone. A lot of your recruiters are now gone. You're under NCAA investigation, and you've just gotten a story coming out about you that you're handing out bags of cash in McDonald's bags. Fat stacks and Big Macs is really what's going on in Tennessee right now, and it's not translating to winning. And so, with all of that being said, y'all comment down below to let me know what you think. This is one of the most absurd things I've heard. I can't wait for more to come out about this, because undoubtedly we have to revisit this story. Just let me know what y'all think. I can't wait to hear what y'all have to say about this. But Jeremy Pruitt, he's not going to have a head coaching job for some time, and he might even be relegated to a defensive coordinator for the long haul, because he might just be better suited for that position. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you understand who you are as a person. I've always been of that mindset, right? I've always said, you don't have to be the best X's and O's guys. As long as you understand where your shortcomings are as a person, and you surround yourself with people that can uplift where you're short at, you're going to be just fine, right? There are plenty of head coaches that understand what they don't understand and are able to adjust. The greatest example of which is Nick Saban bringing in Lane Kiffin. He understood what he didn't understand, and he improved upon it. That's what great coaches do. So, look, Jeremy Pruitt, Tennessee, not looking good right now. Can't wait to hear what y'all say. That's it from me. Go ahead and subscribe if you're here, like the video, and drop a comment down below. That's it. See ya.